Hey kids, Annabelle did another picture for us. Yeah, tell us what it is. No. Well, she told me it's a crown on a pillow with a special pillowcase. I think that's for somebody. I think it may be a sad, grieving pillow. But there's a crown on that pillow. I don't know who the giraffe was for, but I think the giraffe was for somebody else. Having fun. Somebody that needs to have fun. Thanks for your picture, Belle. I love it.
Yeah, when I saw this picture from Annabelle, I got grieving pillow, and I'm not totally sure why. But that word grieving made me think of my friend Christopher, who passed not too long ago. And if you haven't seen the video, the sermon, please check that out on our home site, or it's our channel actually. Our video channel is called Simpatico Kids. So check that out. It's called The Sermon. But with this picture, I just thought of grieving. And it made me think of that story of when I went to his hospital room the night that he passed. His parents called me up. They said, he's passed away. Would you like to come see him, come say goodbye one more time before they, take him away? I said, yeah, I'll be right there. So it's late at night. I rush down to the hospital. I go up to his room, and normally I would see him during the day. I would actually go at lunchtime, and he loved Chick-fil-A. He loved those sandwiches. So I'd usually go and take him Chick-fil-A sandwich for lunch. So I knew a lot of the daytime nurses. I knew the docs that were there during the day. But this was 11:30 at night, and I didn't recognize the nurse that was checking me in, and she said, well, who are you? Like, are you family? I said, no, I'm his Sunday school teacher. So she writes down clergy. And she takes me to the back where the room is. And the doctor comes out of the room. She goes, can I help you? What are you doing here? The nurse says, oh, this is a clergy. He's here to see Christopher. Oh, the nurse says, kind of annoyed that I'm here to do my clergy duty or something, and she says, well, why don't you go wait down there? There's a room down there. Just wait. The family's in there right now, and just give them a few minutes. I said, oh, sure. Yeah, no problem. So I go there and I wait. After a while, they said, okay, you can come in. So I go into the room, and that doc and that nurse and a bunch of other nurses and orderlies and people that knew Christopher were in the room, crying and grieving the loss. And I realized in that room how many people he had touched. Just from his fun jokes and how he would just really easily talk to people. You realized how much he affected their life just by being friendly and being a friend. And one thing that he was really good at was remembering little things that you would be doing the next week. Like if you were gonna go see a movie or something, the next week you'd come back and he'd say, hey, how was that movie? He's interested in your life. As I'm in the room, I'm taking time and just saying goodbye, hugging his parents and, telling them I'm sorry and just spending some time in silence. Well, at one point his mom says, well, thanks for coming, TJ. That's my nickname, that he knew me by. And instantly his nurses and the doctors are like, oh, you're TJ. We've heard so much about you. And in that moment, my status changed in that room. You see, I went from that religious guy who had just come in this moment just because it was the religious thing, the right thing that he had to do as part of his duties as a pastor or clergy. They have to do this. It changed from that to you're a Karen, you're one of us. That changed the status from being an outsider who's just doing a duty to someone who truly cares for this person's heart. The way that we love people and care for people's hearts says so much more than how well we can quote the Bible or how well we can teach people. I started to realize the impact that I had had on Christopher's life. You
See, often I would visit him in the hospital and would be praying, God, what would you have me do? And often the Lord would have me just hang out and watch cartoons with him. And I started to get into cartoons just because he was into them. And I thought back to the sermon that he preached at Kids Church and how he started off with, hey guys, you might not know this, but I'm a lot older than I look because I'm so short. You see, he was very short for his age because of his, illness. And that's how he started his sermon. This humble, here I am, this is who I am, but I care for you. And he did. He cared for children deeply. What if on a Sunday morning we gathered together and shared stories about how available and how loving God is? And as we're gathered together, talking with each other and caring for each other's hearts, lonely people might come in and they might see that God really does love them and that he wants to connect with them no matter who they are, no matter what they've done. He wants to connect with their hearts.